We have a war on our hands here.
He's like, hey, you hit me hard, I'm gonna hit you hard.
Everybody wants the smoke. Or so they say.
まあ自分も、フルトンみたいな選手ともうここまで来たらスーパーバンタム級に上げたとして調整試合はいらないかなっていうのは率直に思ったんですよ。
But leap years feel more frequent than the best fighting the best. If they fight at all. Then there's these two, each in the prime of his prime. Didn't need a Twitter beef, rematch clause, or negotiations that took longer than a nuclear pact. Just the understanding that what makes a fighter great is another great fighter. Naoya Inoue, now looking for titles in his 4th weight class, is a marvel of precision and power. Might be the best fighter in the world. Stephen Fulton will make him prove it. Or prove something else entirely.
Why do you beat Inoue?
This fight right here shows I have the dog in me. If I need to stay in there, I'll stay in there, and I also can box.
The Predator, the Matador. This Matador can fight, though. He's bigger, he's longer, and he's traveled almost 7,000 miles. From West Philly to Tokyo, just to get this smoke.
What's a fight coming to you early morning Tuesday on ESPN Plus. We are absolutely thrilled and honored to be able to call this one as Stephen Fulton, pool boy Steph, puts his 2 belts on the line at 122 pounds against the monster, Naoya Inoue. And consider Fulton, who is a guy who's undefeated, a titleist, didn't have to do this, and he says, I want it. The monster vacating all 4 belts at 118 pounds, going straight to Stephen Fulton. It comes your way early morning Tuesday, 4:30 a.m. Eastern time is fight coverage. Approximately 8 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday morning will be the mega fight of Fulton against Inoue. I mean, Mark, it doesn't get better than this, and we didn't have to wait for it.
I've been talking to people who've been working with Fulton in LA, and they marvel at his mastery of distance. But he's also very much a Philadelphia fighter. And he's game, he's a dog, and he'll go in there. My concern for him would be middle in, which exposes him to the equalizer here, that left hook, especially to the body of Naoya Inoue.
That's the danger zone, and we've seen Inoue win fights just with the left to the body before. Fulton is the natural bigger man at 122 pounds. He has shown, to Mark's point, he's versatile. He has shown that he can fight on the inside and win fights and go to the body. He has shown often that he can box on the outside and use distance. He has shown a volume punching attack. He's been in fights where there's been over 1,000 punches thrown. He's a very talented, high-level, unified world champion.
Yes, he is. And, you know, going back to your piece, you said that this fight was easy to make. And, yes, you're right. It was easy to make. You want to know why? Because both sides here believe that their guy's going to win. That's the reason why this fight is happening. And the fact that you got Cool Boy Steph actually saying, okay, I want to go over there and face this monster in his home turf. You know, this is Devin Haney-ish type of stuff that he's doing here. Devin Haney was the last guy to go over to somebody's country and actually bring his title. Yeah, when he fought Kambosos. Exactly.
I think it's actually different because Inoue is an institution over there. Inoue is the house. I mean, Kambosos was a rising star at the time.
I understand that. But to your point, a lot of people's not, I don't think that people is dismissing, I would say, Fulton. And the reason why is because they wonder how he's going to keep Inoue off of him. I wonder how he's going to keep Inoue off of him. But when I watch him on film, he's tactically sound. He is the bigger guy, one. And if he can take Inoue's shot, best shot, and if he can find a way to close distance on him, tie him up, rough him up, because Inoue has never faced a guy with the type of skill that Fulton has. He's never faced a guy with the type of length and reach that he has, a guy that knows how to control and negate reach. You know, that right there has got me intrigued for this fight because I'm wondering, once Fulton gets in there and Inoue feels that power and feels that strength of him on the inside, how is he going to react to that? This is his first shot at 122 pounds. He's never fought a fighter at 122. This is his first, and he's picking on the best guy. You want to know why? I believe because he feels that his power will transcend up to 122 pounds.
It's amazing because for a guy who started his career at 108 pounds, and to see him now fighting in his absolute prime, going up against a unified champion at 122 pounds, you don't hear a lot of people questioning whether or not it's going to carry up. Because he's so thudding. I mean, he has concrete hands. You just don't.
Well, speaking of that, there's been a controversy.
Yes, there has. Speaking of concrete
24
hands.
hours, Fulton's corner raised pretty vehement objections. They said, we're behind enemy lines. And I don't know how it's resolved itself because of the time difference, but they object to the wraps that Inoue has been using. They say the way that it's been layered is like a cast.
Double stack.
Yeah, the criticism was put forth by Wahid Rahim, the trainer of Cool Boy Steph, and basically saying that it's a safety concern, a major safety concern, because they feel like they have proof when they've seen the past, they've seen video of excessive taping. Now, this is something
it's also a head game concern.
There's no doubt about it, and they want to make sure they get their way when it comes to the commission over Japan. But this is something I'm going to call upon you when we're broadcasting this fight early morning, and we're watching the video that comes from the locker room. I want you to chime in with what you're seeing and explain it to people.
I think what I had read is that he puts tape on the bear's skin first. And I think that's the problem that they're having. He puts it on the bare skin, then he does gauze, then he puts more tape, then he does gauze, and then he puts more tape over it. That's called double stacking, and I think that's the problem that they're having with that.
But the commission in Japan does allow for it. He has been, both when he has fought in Nevada and when he has fought in Japan, the commission has signed off on the way that they do the stacking with the tape.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they sign off on this one, and I'm curious to see if they're going to push, you know, when the fight is going on, if they're going to push it when they step foot in that ring.
Here that Fulton and his corner don't get their way.
I would agree with that. And once again, folks, I mean, it's a huge week in boxing next week. But this comes to you Tuesday morning live on ESPN+. Stephen Fulton, Cool Boy Steph, the undefeated American Philadelphia fighter, WBO, WBC champion at 102 pounds, against the guy who many vote #1 on the pound-for-pound list, the monster, Naoya Inoue, moving up in weight. Also, if you don't get up early to watch it live on ESPN+, the replay of Fulton and Inoue will be available to you on ESPN+ all day and for days and weeks to come, so you can wake up a little later for years to come. Everybody wants the posterity when it comes to Mark Kriegel and his wordsmithing. But you can watch it later in the day as well if you have to. That's Fulton against Inoue on ESPN+. Tuesday morning. Coverage begins at 4:30 a.m., approximately 8 a.m. Eastern for the main event.